welcome. For this practice, you won't need anything extra, any props. If you have a yoga mat, I invite you to grab that, set it out. We are going to start with just a really brief check-in, noticing how you feel, noticing your breath, and then we're gonna get right away into some nice, flowy, feel-good movement. This practice is good for any time of day, whatever you're needing this for. And we will go ahead and get started. So go ahead and join me in any type of a seat. We're not going to be here for too long. I'm just sitting back on my heels, but option to take a nice cross-legged easy seat if that feels better for you. And just go ahead and start to settle in wherever you're at. Take your time here. Option to close your eyes down just briefly as you settle in. Maybe you feel some wiggles coming. Maybe you need to kind of sway side to side or wiggle out through your fingers, through your toes. Take a couple of deep breaths just on your own. Nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. A few more like that at your own pace. So just start to tune in here. Notice what comes up right away as you settle into this practice. Maybe you are thinking about your day. Maybe you're at the end of your day. Maybe you're just noticing how your day felt for you. Maybe you're at the beginning of your day, anticipating anything ahead. Just notice where your thoughts naturally wander. And then on each inhale, slowly bring your awareness back to yourself, back to your breath. And with each exhale, let everything else around you go. So inhale, bring that awareness towards yourself. Exhale, release all other distractions. A few more like that. Take it at your own pace. It's easier said than done. But just the simple intention around this to bring your focus and your awareness more towards yourself will help you in your practice. Maybe 2 or 3 more rounds of breath here. Awesome. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and start to blink them open. We're going to meet in a child shape. So go ahead, and if you're on a mat, go ahead and just start to come into tabletop right in the center of your mat. And then on an exhale, slowly and gently push your hips as far back as they'll go. Maybe they meet your heels. Your arms are nice and extended out long in front of you, and your forehead, if you can, grounds all the way down. So settle in here for a few moments. Continue to stay present with your breath. So notice your inhales. Feel your exhales. And on your next few inhales, find some length in your arms, in your spine. And on the next few exhales, let yourself sink deeper into the earth. So inhale to find some length. Exhale to ground down. Take a few more rounds of breath like this. Release your head, your neck, your shoulders. Allow your heart space to melt towards the earth. Take one more deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, come forward into tabletop. So back to hands and knees. Maybe take a couple of hip rocks side to side. Maybe move your head and neck around here. Just a few moments to just kind of move how you need to here. And then go ahead and check in. Notice your knees. See if you can get them about hips width distance apart. So there's just a tiny bit of space between your knees, but they're both parallel. Same with your hands. They're about shoulder width distance apart. So you've got a nice firm stance with your hands, your arms, your knees. On an inhale, pull yourself forward, chest comes through your arms, drop your hips on an exhale. So you're coming into upward facing dog. So as you settle your hips down, start to lift your knees off the mat. So you're probably gonna feel your legs firing up right away. 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. See if you can bring your gaze up towards the sky. Let your head fall back just a little bit. Nice big inhale, and on your exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Start to settle in here. Maybe pedal out through your feet just a little bit. Try to let your head and neck just go completely here. So find your downward facing dog stance. So you're checking with your hands. They're nice and grounded. All 10 fingers really solid on the floor. Really push the ground away, almost like you're pushing your chest towards your legs. And then notice your feet. They're about hips width distance apart. And it's totally fine if your heels don't touch the floor. You just want to be actively pushing your heels towards the earth. So you're active in your whole entire body, from the tips of your fingers all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. You got this. And then go ahead and look up between your hands and step forward into your halfway lift. So go ahead and find that length in your spine, and then exhale, fold forward. Crown of your head goes all the way towards the earth. Again, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Again, inhale. Exhale to fold. This time, inhale, stand all the way up. Sweep your arms up as you go. Bring the palms of your hands together at the top if you can. And exhale, hands to heart center, hands down by your sides. Take a few moments of breath here. So your arms are nice and heavy by your sides. Palms of your hands face forward. All 4 corners of your feet, of both feet, are nice and grounded down. Take a couple of deep inhales and exhales at your own pace. See if you can keep your breath nice and slow, nice and steady here. So we're just standing in stillness for a few rounds of breath. Your shoulders are nice and heavy down your back, away from your ears. You've got a straight line of energy from the bottoms of your feet all the way to the crown of your head, nice and tall, nice and strong. And go ahead and take a glance down at your feet. See if you can bring your big toes to touch if they're not already. So your feet are really close together here. And then go ahead, bring your gaze back up to center. And then we're gonna start to take that same flow, and we're gonna take it several times. So we're gonna move 1 breath, 1 movement. So with each inhale, we're gonna move, and with each exhale, we're gonna move. And this is hopefully gonna get you into a really nice state of almost meditation, and to really bring your brain and your body into the present moment. So go ahead and inhale. Sweep your arms all the way up to the sky, palms touch. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. Plant the palms of your hands. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Hold for just a breath here. And then your option, inhale forward into plank with your knees lifted, or tabletop. Exhale, untuck your toes, back to child's pose. 1 or 2 rounds of breath here. And then we're going to repeat that whole thing. Inhale up into tabletop all the way through to your upward facing dog. Chest comes through your arms. Let your hips drop. Lift your knees. Stay here for a breath or two. On an exhale, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Right away, step forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands down by your side. We're going to take that again. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into your version of plank. Exhale, drop your knees. Child's pose. 1 or 2 breaths here. We're going to take that flow 3 more times just to give yourself an opportunity to get in the groove with it. So on an inhale, forward into tabletop, all the way to upward facing dog. Lift those knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look up between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, stand all the way up. Sweep those arms up as you go. Exhale, hands by your sides. Awesome. Inhale, arms to rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into your plank or your tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Take 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. We're going to go through that flow 2 more times. Inhale forward into your upward facing dog. Lift those knees as you go. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up between your hands, step forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, stand all the way up. Sweep your arms up as you go. Exhale, hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank or tabletop. Exhale, untuck your toes. Child's. Take 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. We've got 1 more flow like that, and then we're going to change it up a little bit. Alrighty. Inhale, last one here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward. Inhale, step forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Sweep those arms up as you go. Exhale, hands by your sides. Finish it up. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, dive it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into your version of plank. Exhale, untuck your toes, child's pose. Stay here for about 5 rounds of breath. Option to rock side to side. Notice how you're feeling here. Notice the beat of your heart. Maybe your body temperature has increased. Maybe you're feeling some heat. Some energy moving and flowing around. When you're ready, go ahead and look up between your hands. Meet me in tabletop on hands and knees. And then go ahead and start to bring your right knee in towards your chest and plant that right foot. You may have to walk it up a little bit more. You want it to be just about between your hands. So your right foot is planted nice and firmly between your hands, and kind of bring your awareness to your hips. If you feel like they're up a little bit, try to let them drop. So this, you're gonna feel this more. You're gonna feel more tension in your hips and your legs. Take a nice deep inhale and a nice deep exhale. Plant your left hand, if it's not already, and then inhale, twist to the right. Sweep your arm all the way up. So right arm extends to the sky. Maybe your gaze goes towards your right thumb. Take a nice big inhale here. Exhale, plant your right hand, and you're gonna actually plant your right hand on the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out just a little bit so that you have some space. So both hands are planted on the inside of your right foot. We're gonna take kind of a funky variation here of a side angle. So you want your right knee to be right up against your right shoulder. So you want your arm and your leg to be nice and snug into each other. So really press them into each other. You're gonna inhale, you're gonna twist the opposite way, sweep that left arm up and overhead, and then exhale, really bring it over. So it's almost like you're creating a straight line from your left arm all the way to your leg behind. Take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, replant your left hand. Awesome. Go ahead and lift that right hand. Walk your right foot back between your hands. So you're back where we started. Check in. Notice how you feel here. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, push your hips back. Half splits here. Start to flex your right toes towards you. Settle in for a few rounds of breath. Let your head be nice and heavy towards your right leg. And as you're here, try to pull your right hip back and push your left hip forward. Just to find an evenness in your hips here. You're probably going to feel a lot more sensation with that too. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. And then on an inhale, come forward. And then make sure your hands are nice and solid down. And then go ahead and exhale. Your right leg comes all the way back. So we're moving into balancing table. Check in. Notice how this feels. Option to stay here for a few rounds of breath, or take it to the next level. Take that left arm out front. 2 or 3 more rounds of breath wherever you're at here. Really pull your belly button towards your spine. Try to have a flat back here. For 3, you got this. For 2, for 1, meet me back in tabletop. Whoo. Maybe rock your hips side to side. Find your breath. And we're going to take that whole thing to the other side. Let's go ahead and meet me back in center. And then start to pull your left knee towards your chest, really round your spine, and then plant your left foot. Again, you may have to walk it all the way up between your hands. And same thing, find a nice stretch in your hip here. Let your hips sink down. So kind of like I'm doing here, you almost may want to actually take your hand and feel yourself just gently pressing down here. Feel that stretch. Breathe through it. A couple more rounds of breath. And then make sure your right hand is nice and planted. Inhale, twist to the left. Left arm sweeps all the way up to the sky. Maybe your gaze goes towards your left thumb. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Check in with your hips. I feel like mine have kind of come up a little bit. So just check in with them. See if you can let them sink back down. Nice big inhale. Exhale, plant your left hand down. Plant it on the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out just a little bit so that both hands have room to be in the inside of your left foot. So we're going to take that same funky transition. So again, check in. Try to make sure that your left leg and your left arm are nice and solid, nice and connected. That's gonna help you balance. So make sure that's nice and solid. Inhale, twist to the right. This time, right arm sweeps up. Exhale, bring that right arm overhead. Maybe your gaze follows your fingertips. For 3, nice straight arm. For 2, for 1, go ahead and plant that hand back down. Awesome. Move your left foot back to center between your hands. Whew. Find your balance here. Nice big inhale. Exhale, push your hips back, half splits. So same thing, flex your left toes towards you. Your head is nice and heavy towards your left leg. And see if you can square off your hips. Pull your left hip back, push your right hip forward. And this is just a really subtle movement. 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. And then on the next inhale, come forward. Exhale, make sure your hands are planted. Take that left leg up and back behind. Same thing. You may have to readjust here. Find that balancing table. Option to stay here if this is enough, or that right arm this time comes in front, extends in front. Remember, try to pull your belly button towards your spine just to help flatten your back so you're not sinking into your lower back. Holding for 3. Continue to breathe. You got this. For 2. And 1. Back to tabletop. Whew, awesome. Rock those hips side to side. Whew. Alrighty. We're going to take one last flow to finish it up. So go ahead and tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Check in here. Make sure your feet are about hips width distance apart. Push those heels down. Find that nice stretch in the backs of your legs. Push the ground away with your arms. Big inhale and big exhale. Look up between your hands. Step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, stand all the way up. Bring the palms of your hands together. This time, exhale, hands to heart center. Oh, catch your breath if you're like me. Take a few deep rounds of breath here. Okay, last push. We're gonna meet in a seat. We're gonna find a fun little balance. Feel free to have fun with this, fall out. This doesn't have to be perfect. So go ahead, go ahead and bring your hands to your hips and come up onto your toes. So as you do this, find a point in front of you, fix your gaze on something that's not moving, and you're gonna wanna keep your gaze there that whole time. So it's what we call a drishti. So find that drishti, that point in front of you that's not moving. Keep your gaze there. Start to bend your knees. So almost like you're squatting down. So you're on your toes and start to bend your knees. And we're going to meet in a seat. So you're going to do this as far as you can go, as far as your knees and hips will let you, all the way down. And then maybe you plop down, maybe you fell down. Hopefully you're okay if you fell down. So just notice what that felt like, to play with your balance a little bit. Maybe it was a little frustrating, maybe it was a little wobbly, maybe you just had fun with it. Totally doesn't matter how it went, just that you did it. So take a couple more rounds of breath. Notice what it feels like. Continue to take a couple more on your own. Deep inhales through your nose. Long, steady exhales through your mouth. Couple more like that. Notice how your breath feels now that we've had some movement, now that we've flowed and gotten that energy moving a little bit. Notice the beat of your heart. Maybe you feel some tension that's been released. Maybe you even feel a little soreness. There's no expectation of how you should feel at the end of this practice. Just check in with yourself. Notice how your body feels. Notice where your mind is at now. And feel your breath moving in your body on each inhale and exiting your body on each exhale. If you have a few more moments, I invite you to maybe lay down on your back and just have a nice rest for yourself for a minute or two. If you don't have time, that's okay. But wherever you're at, thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope that you got whatever it was that you needed from this practice, and I will see you next time.